I'm going to start you on a mat or on the floor, rolling down onto your back. Just wanting you to find a nice comfortable position. Your feet are planted. You can feel your tailbone on the mat. Trying to find what we call neutral. So neutral is where we find your hip bones, your pointy hip bones, and your pubic bone at a nice level surface where if you wanted to, you could put a cup of tea on your abdomen and it would sit nice and level. It wouldn't tip over. Okay, so what that creates is a nice natural lumbar curve, and that creates a bit of space between you and the mat. Okay, so you should feel nice and neutral. Try to find that neutral pelvis. Next, you should feel your rib cage drawing downwards into the mat. Nice and a little bit heavy through your rib cage. Then you should feel your scapulas nice and flat and flush with the mat. And you should draw those scapulas downwards away from your ears just a little bit. And then you should feel a nice natural neck curve as well, with a little bit of space between your neck and the mat, and then the back of the head. Okay, so just starting off, we always begin with some deep breathing to find and activate those deep core muscles. So we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. When we breathe out, we slow the breath down through a pursed lip. So it sounds like this. We breathe in through the nose, and as you exhale, we lengthen out the breath to try to take all of the air out before we inhale again. Okay? So using all of your lungs really effectively. Place your hands on your rib cage on each side, and as we start to breathe, you should feel a nice expansion through your ribs. So inhale through your nose. You're going to feel those ribs start to open into your hands, and you should feel the back of your rib cage, front and sides, moving outwards. Now, as you exhale that air out, you start to feel those ribs draw down and towards each other. So as you inhale, they open and expand, create space in the rib cage. As you exhale, they draw together and down. Okay, so that's like the idea like an accordion. As you inhale, the accordion opens. As you exhale, the accordion draws back together. Okay, so that's the kind of breath we want to try to establish while we're doing Pilates. Next, we talk a little bit about the transverse abdominis, which is a muscle that wraps around you, sort of like a cummerbund. It wraps around your low spine and your pelvis, and it does not move you. It just holds your, it's a stabilizer. It just holds your spine and pelvis in place. Okay, so it sort of hugs the bones. As you breathe in, you feel those ribs expand. As you breathe out, the transverse abdominis starts to wrap around and stabilize your pelvis, okay, no matter what position it's in. Inhale, you expand the ribs, and long breath out, taking all the air out, you should feel your transverse. So it's a very, very subtle. In order to see if it's turning on, take your 2 fingers on each hand, take them about an inch inside your pointy hip bones, and then just press in slightly. So not too hard, shouldn't be uncomfortable. And just do that breathing again. So we're breathing in. And as you exhale, getting down towards the end of that breath is where I find you can feel it the most, that wrap around. And inhale, it releases a little bit. And exhale, the muscle hugs around. So I call it an internal seat belt. A cummerbund is a great visual. So it's like it's getting tighter as you exhale, and it's releasing a little bit of tension as you inhale, okay? So just taking while your fingers are in there, I want you to take a cough, like just clear your throat. So the muscles that pop into your hands when you do that, those are actually your obliques. That's not your deepest core muscle, okay? Or your deep core muscles. That is just a little bit more superficial, your obliques. Also really important, they connect your hips to your ribs, and they twist and side bend us. So they're a really important group, and we're going to talk about them next, okay? Last on the list here, we talk about pelvic floor. So those are the muscles on the underside of your pelvis They're the ones you would use if you were doing a urine sample at the doctor and they asked you to stop the flow of urine. So we refer to as a Kegel muscle or a Kegel contraction. And it's basically all of the muscles on the underside of the pelvis for both men and women, okay? And we want to learn to control those as well. They're a big part of your deep core. So as we're breathing in, now we feel those ribs expand. As we breathe out, we feel that wrap around of the transverse abdominis, maybe a bit of a firm feeling under your fingers, and now your pelvic floor, that feeling of trying to stop the flow of urine, that drawing upwards. And inhale, that we release the tension in all of those places. And then as you exhale, we find those muscles again. So basically with that exhale, that is what allows your deep core to activate. If without the breath, you can't get your core to turn on correctly. Okay, I know it's weird at first to do the long breathing, but it really is effective to use the breath to find your core. Okay, so second thing we talk about is your imprint and your release. So we talked a little bit about neutral pelvis already, flat on the front, a little bit of space here between you and the mat. It's different for everybody how much space is here. Some people have structurally different spines and pelvises, and therefore some people have a lot of space, some people have very little, but we want to feel like we have got a little bit of space between you and the mat, okay? And that teacup could sit here on your pelvis like a table, okay? So that's a nice neutral pelvis. Now the other pelvis we talk about in Pilates is an imprinted pelvis, okay? So imprint, if you look at my spine, is where we close that space between you and the mat. And then let's roll back to neutral. So put your hands, so your fingertips are on your hip bones and your thumbs are on just barely touching your rib cage, okay? So under your hands right now are your oblique muscles. I like to use the visual of suspenders. So it's like there's two little suspenders here, and they should remain the same throughout. Any exercise that you're doing, if you're balanced, your hips are stacked under your rib cage, and your obliques should be balanced as well and equal in length, okay? So we're going to use the obliques to draw the pelvis into an imprinted spine. So you're drawing the pelvis back and imprinting the spine, closing that space between you and the mat. As you inhale, you're going to let your pelvis rock forward, back to that neutral where we're nice and flat. So let's just do that a few times. Take a deep breath in here in neutral. As you exhale, leave the legs out of it. It's not your bum and legs doing the work. We're going to use these little suspenders to shorten up and pull the pelvis back towards your chest. And inhale, let's rock back to neutral. And exhale, the obliques are contracting. We're closing that space, imprinting the spine on the mat. And inhale, we're going back to neutral. And again, inhale, ribs fill with air. As you exhale, you're going to feel transverse abdominis wrap around you, drop the pelvic floor, and let's find that imprinted pelvis. And inhale, let's roll back to your neutral. So nothing's changed in the legs, nothing's changed in the arms, nothing's changed in the head. We're just moving our spine and pelvis. Last time here, exhale deeply, taking all of the air out and closing up that space between you and the mat. Now mindful, it's not your glutes and hamstrings, your bum and your hamstrings doing the work. It's actually these obliques on the front side. Inhale, let's roll back to neutral. Okay? So let's just try maintaining that neutral spine and pelvis while we start to move the legs now. So you're neutral, you keep the space. So every time we go to move a limb, there's a tendency to jam into the back and use the back to do all the work. Instead here, we're going to use transverse abdominis to stabilize the rib and pelvis, or excuse me, the low spine and pelvis, and we're going to move our leg out to a long position, slide the heel down, and nothing's going to change in the torso. Everything's going to stay the same, okay? So let's take a nice deep breath in here, fill up the ribs. Expand the rib cage. As you exhale, we're going to move the heel, slide it down. Keep control of the leg. Don't let it drop. Inhale. As you exhale, pull that leg back to where it started. And place it down. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, breathing in to prepare. As you exhale, start your breath first. And send the leg out long. Inhale at the bottom, nothing changes here in the core. And exhale, drawing that leg back. Let's change the hand position. Put your hands back to your suspender position. We're going to take a deep breath in. Let's go back to the right leg. Inhale, you're preparing to move the leg. Exhale, let's send the leg out long. Don't let the lengths of your suspender muscles change. They're the same throughout. Breathe in at the bottom. And exhale, pull the heel back. And again, breathing in to get ready. So everything's the same. You still have the space between you and the mat. And exhale, slide your heel down. Breathe in at the bottom, holding. And then start your breath. And pull the leg back. Let's speed it up for 2. So we're going to breathe in. And exhale, start the breath. And then the leg draws out. Inhale now deeply, filling up the rib cage as you drag that heel back. Other side. Inhale. And exhale, send the leg out. And inhale, drawing it back. Exhale at the top. Breathe in. And exhale, send the leg out. Inhale as you drag it. And last one, breathe out here at the top. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, send the leg. Inhale, drag it back. And then just shake that out, okay? So we're going to try with a thigh drop as well. So you're going to stay neutral again. So all we're doing here is we're going to be externally rotating the leg out on the inhale. And then we're going to draw it back to center on the exhale. Nothing changes in the torso. Your core is going to be working to stabilize you. Roll your shoulders a couple of times. Get those shoulders out of the ears. They may have cracked up with the concentration. So we're going to take a deep breath in and out to find our deep core muscles here. So feel for that pelvic floor and transverse. Start to breathe out. And feel that connection here, okay? Let's take a deep inhale, long breath in as you lower the leg with control. Now exhale, draw the leg back up to where it was. Staying on the same side, let's do that again. Breathing in. And exhale, pulling it back. 2 more. Inhale, we let the leg drop back down. Lots of control on the lowering. You're working in both directions. Exhale, pulling it back. So again, see no rotation, no shifting here. Inhale, suspenders are equal still. And last one here, exhale, pulling it back. And again, we're going to go to the other side. Breathe in. Each one can be very different depending on where your pelvis and your hips are today. And then exhale, pull that leg back to parallel. Make sure you can still feel the big toe of the standing leg. Inhale, so you don't want this leg to be wobbling. It should be nice and still like it's in a cast. And exhale, pull the leg back. And again, inhale. Deep, long inhale. And then a really long, deep exhale, taking all of the air out. Great work. Okay, so just roll your pelvis a couple of times. just to give your lower spine a little break. Next, we're going to go into bringing the legs to tabletop, but maintaining our neutral. So again, we're just working that transverse abdominis, pelvic floor here, just continuously working them while moving our heavy legs around, and they're working because they're stabilizing, okay? So they may not be contracting and relaxing like we think of when we're working out, but they are working by holding everything here together, okay? And providing a nice long spine and lots of stability around your spine and pelvis, okay? So we're gonna stay neutral again, okay? So that little space, we're kind of used to that by now. We've got the tabletop here. We've got a nice connection. Now we're used to the breath. We're gonna go to what we call tabletop, which is a 90-degree knee, okay? We don't want it too close to us. We wanna keep it at 90, not coming in past the hip bone, okay? So the feet are both on the floor. Take a deep inhale and an exhale to find that core. We always find it first before we start the work. And maybe one more time, breathe in, fill the ribs. And exhale, take all of that air out. Okay, we're nice and neutral. We're gonna stay that way. Breathe in. Now start your breath out and bring your right leg to tabletop. Inhale as you place it down toe to heel, and take a long deep exhale as you bring the opposite leg up. Inhale, control the lowering, no shifting in the torso, everything remains the same. Exhale. And inhale. And again, exhale. So we're not jamming the back. Inhale, lower. We've still got the space between us and the mat throughout. And inhale, lowering. We're gonna do one more here. Exhale. Now instead of taking it back down, let's just breathe in. And as you exhale, bring the opposite leg up. So now both legs are in tabletop and you're still neutral. You are not jammed through your spine. You are not imprinted. Breathe in here. Now exhale, lower slowly through the foot of the left leg. Breathe in. And exhale, slowly place down your right leg. Deep inhale here at the bottom. Let's do that one more time. Let's do the opposite way. Exhale, bring your right leg up to tabletop. Breathe in deeply. And long breath out. Start the breath first. Bringing them up. Inhale at the top here. And let's just hold for a breath. And again, inhale. Still holding, exhale. Last time, breathing in. We're going to exhale, start by bringing the right foot down, long breath out. Breathe in. And exhale, bringing that other leg down. Great work, rolling through your spine a few times. Okay, we're almost going to change up the pattern a little bit. One more thing in neutral here. So in neutral, we're going to start with some arm movement. So arms are a little more challenging because they throw the upper part of our spine for a loop if we aren't connected in our core. So if, for example, I bring my arms overhead without connecting my core, as you can see, I go into a bit of extension and my rib cage pops away, okay? So you're going into a bit of a dancer or a gymnast pose. You can visualize that rib cage being far popped ahead of my pelvis. Okay, so in Pilates, we like to maintain a stacked rib and hip connection. We do that by engaging those obliques and visualizing a nice connection always between the hips and rib cage, okay? So we're not going to let those ribs pop away because that lengthens the core and makes it weaker. We're going to try to maintain a little draw downwards. Now it's not a heavy push down, it's a little bit of a medium connection between the ribs and hips, and we want to try to maintain that at all times, okay? So let's bring the arms to the sky. You're neutral here, you're still neutral, and I want you just to visualize a little connection between like a magnet drawing your belly button downwards towards your spine. So you're not sucking in the abdomen as much as you're just drawing in slightly with your abdominal muscles that belly button towards the spine, okay? Trying to keep that connection. Arms are up to the sky, palms are in. We're just going to inhale, prepare to move the arms, deep inhale. Now start the breath out, exhale as you let the arms go overhead just to your peripheral vision. So we're not going to go way over all the way to the mat, okay? Breathe in at the bottom. Now as you exhale, moving from the shoulder, bring the arms back and feel the rib cage draw down towards the hips. Inhale here. And as you exhale, keep that connection, think about your rib cage going downwards towards your pelvis. Inhale at the top here. And again, as you're breathing out, the ribs and hips are connecting, and it's like that accordion, it's closing down. The ribs are coming together and closing inwards. And let's do 2 more. Breathe in here at the top. Exhale as the ribs go down towards the hips. Breathe in here and exhale. So nothing's changed in my pelvis. Breathe in, last one here, and exhale. Overhead, inhale, and exhale. Okay, we're going to switch it up just a little bit. Coming over into your all fours position. Just going to tie this up a little so you can see what's happening. So from here and in all fours, we want the hands to be right under the shoulders for nice stability through the shoulder. We want the head to be in line with the spine, so we're not going to let it hang down. We're going to keep it in line with the spine. And we're going to send the tailbone out to the wall behind us. Sit bones and tailbone, okay? So we're here. We're going to just go into some nice cat stretches. In this position, we're always trying to maintain that nice connection between the belly button and the spine, okay? We don't want to sink through our abdominals. We want to keep them close to us. So going into your cat stretch, we're going to always start it with the lowest abdominals, and we're going to use those obliques to draw the tail under us, and that's sort of the starting move, okay? So a nice deep long spine here, nice deep breath inwards, filling up that rib cage. As you exhale, you want to use the obliques to draw the pelvis into a rounded position. Now you're going to press the floor away with your arms, let your head be heavy, and you're rounding out the spine. Take an inhale at the top here. And as you exhale, it's your tail first that reaches to the wall behind you, and then your head comes up and we find that nice long spine again. Breathing in there. Start to breathe out first. Using the core to draw the pelvis, like almost like visualize tucking your tail, but I don't want you thinking jamming your tail with just your bum. It's really your abdominals that are doing this work. It's your obliques. It's not the legs and bum, okay? Breathe in, nice long spine. As you exhale, start the breath first and then roll your spine into a rounded position. Press the floor away with your arms. Keep the ears out of the shoulders though. Shoulders out of the ears. And inhale here at the top. Let's just stay for a breath. Exhale, stay up rounded. Breathe in. So your abdominals are really contracted here, okay? And then exhale, it's the tailbone first, sit bones reach, top of the head reaches. We don't go into extension. We're going to keep a long neck, so long spine. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in. And And start your breath. Exhale. Find the core muscles, your obliques, your transverse. Everything is stable. You're going up simultaneously. Your head is rounding forward. You're finding a really beautiful stretch through your thoracic spine, through your rib cage. Breathe in at the top. You're really contracted here. And exhale. Reach the ears away from the shoulders. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, roll it up. Breathing in. And exhale. In this all fours position, we're going to just do some alternating arms. So what it looks like is we're going to be reaching an arm up, but maintaining a long spine. So nothing changes in the torso. Okay? We're going to alternate. So breathing in. As you exhale, reaching your arm up, keeping that shoulder blade away from your ear. Inhale and exhale. Now in this transition, there's no shifting or moving. We're just going to place both hands down for a split second and exhale the opposite arm up. Inhale to hold and exhale, placing it down. And breathing in. Start to exhale and lift the arm. Inhale to hold. And exhale, placing that hand down. And again. Exhale. Inhale, place it down. And last one. Breathe in. And exhale. And let's just sit back into a nice shell stretch, rounding over your knees. Even in this position though, you have a connection with your belly button and your abdominals, okay? We're not just sinking into the legs, we're rounding the spine and enjoying a stretch, but our abdominals are not switched off, okay? Okay. Coming to just a little bit of imprint work, and then we're done, okay? So, we're going to roll it back down to the mat. To find that imprint, placing those hands back on your little suspenders from the hip bones to the ribs, we're going to breathe in, and then exhale as you shorten the suspenders on the front side of the body and feeling your spine imprint on the mat. We're going to hold that position. Inhale. And let's exhale, bring one leg to tabletop. Maintain the imprint. Don't let anything change in the lower spine. Inhale here. And exhale, placing it down. Now don't lose the imprint. We're not going to go to neutral here. Breathe in. And exhale, other leg to table. And inhale, and exhale, placing it down. So we're going to speed it up just a little bit. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, bring one leg up. Inhale long and deep as you place the foot down. Exhale, opposite leg. So no shifting in that transition. Everything stays the same. And long, deep inhale as you place it down. Just take some time, practice this over and over again. Exhale up. Long breath in as you place it down. Exhale up. And inhale, place it down. One more time each side. Exhale up. And inhale down. And exhale up. And inhale down. Now we're going to exhale, bring that leg up. You're still in imprint. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, bring the opposite leg. Now both are at tabletop. You're still imprinted, nice and strong. Your spine is safe. We're going to breathe in here. And then exhale as you place one foot down. Don't lose your imprint here. Inhale. And exhale as you place the opposite leg down. Breathing in for a second, still imprinted. I know this is a long time. exhale, bring that leg up again. Inhale, hold. And now the other one. So no shifting, no rotating. It comes straight up. Exhale. You're still imprinted. You're very strong here. Bring the knees and zip them together. Okay. We're going to move them away from the body the tiniest bit. I'm talking an inch and not really much farther than that. So they're going away from your body on that inhale. Inhale as they go away. Exhale as you draw them back to that straight up 90 degrees. Inhale, they're going away just slightly. Wash the tension in the shoulders and neck. I can feel mine trying to turn on. And exhale deeply as you use those lower abdominals and transverse abdominis to bring the legs back. And again, inhale, they go away. So really, really subtle. Exhale, pull them back. This is the last one. Inhale, you should be feeling this. You're still imprinted. Exhale, bring them back. Take a breathe in, breath in, and exhale. Place one foot down. Still imprinted. You haven't lost it yet. Breathe in and exhale as you lower. Now I want you to let your pelvis roll back to its neutral place where you've got that space again between you and the mat. So that's actually pretty tough. Even though it's just such a small amount, you're definitely using all of those muscles. You're using the more superficial obliques. You're using rectus abdominis, which is sort of the six-pack muscle that we see a lot. And you're also using the ones we don't see as much, and that's the deep core transverse abdominis. Okay, so one last thing. We're going to just work on the clamshell. Okay, so this is a side lying thing. So when you're in side lying, you want your whole spine to be long and neutral. So we don't want the head hanging way down here. I use my arm or a pillow or a pad or something to keep your neck in line with your spine. And even when we're in this position, I want you to visualize, see the lines in my shirt here? Your obliques and your abs are pulling away from the mat, so they're not sinking into the mat. In this position, my suspender on the right side here is really long and my left side is really short. So we're always trying to fight for that equal length between the ribs and the hips, even in a side lying position. How we do that is by maintaining tone in the abdominals in this position. So I like to visualize that little magnet between my spine and my belly button. I draw that inwards just a little bit, okay, towards the spine. So it's like you're pulling the abdominals away from the mat just slightly. So we're going to start with our knees bent like this. Okay, we're going to try to keep a nice long spine so we're not all curled over. We're thinking about the top of our head reaching one direction. The sacrum is reaching another direction. We're just going to be opening and closing the thigh using our glute med, gluteus medius, which is one of the muscles in the glutes that likes to be a little bit lazy. So it's a really important one for pelvis stability and for your lower back. So we're just going to be trying to isolate it a little bit with some clamshells. We're going to take a nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, no movement yet. I just want you to work on that deep, long exhale, drawing the navel to spine slightly at about 60%. And feeling the abdominals pulling up and in. Okay, breathing in and exhale. And this time I want you to think a little bit more about those pelvic floor muscles as you breathe out. Now we're going to breathe in. And as we exhale, start the breath. And then lifting the leg. It's not going to go very high, okay? Inhale, hold. And exhale, lower. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathe in at the top. And start your breath out. And then the leg goes back to where it started. Let's do two more. Breathing in. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. Now you can speed that up a little bit. Breathe in at the bottom. exhale all the way up. Inhale, control it back down. Exhale, you're opening. Inhale, you're lowering. Exhale, up. Inhale, control it down. We're not dropping. Exhale, up. And inhale down. Great work. You should feel that just here at the top of your hip. Okay, let's do the other side, and then we are done. So find yourself long spine, not too curled up into a fetal position. I want the spine long. Knees are bent, you know, not quite 90, but just slightly off of 90, okay? And you can use this hand for stability, of course. So we're taking that nice deep breath in and out before we do anything. So we're just practicing over and over again, finding the core, okay? Inhale. And exhale. Like there's a little string between your belly button and your spine. You want to draw, and the string is shortening. You want to draw the belly button in towards your spine. Here we go. Breathing in. Exhale, start your breath, and then the leg comes upwards. Each side could be very different. Inhale as you hold, and exhale, you're lowering the leg. Breathing in, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale, we lower. 2 more like that. Breathe in. And exhale up. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, bring it up, opening through the thigh. Inhale, hold. And exhale, you lower. Breathing in. We're going to go a little faster. Exhale, we go up. Inhale, control it back. Exhale, up. And inhale down. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Open. Inhale down. One more time. Exhale. And inhale. And that basically covers everything we've done. You could add reps to all of those different things once you're feeling really comfortable with them. Main key points: the breath, slowing everything down, really creating your own work by creating a line of tension in your body, so you're using your own body weight as you lift and lower something, your leg or your arm. You don't just let them flop. You've got lots of control in your joints, and you are using the arm to create work for yourself or the leg. Okay? I hope you find this useful, and you can, use this when you're feeling your back is sore. There's all kinds of things that within this video that will help you build your core over time, especially when you're first getting started. Okay, thanks a lot.